All right, here is hopefully a shorter video that just kind of explains how the assembly feature of Onshape works. Here you see my car that's been assembled. I have my front and my middle section, windshield section, back section, and then I've got my wheels on axles. Those are various parts assembled in there, and then I have this back spoiler fin as well, and they're all kind of snapped together within the assembly file down here. Okay, so I will back out of here and I'll show you on a different file how to create an assembly. So the parts that I'm going to be focusing on in this one are this part. And if you notice over here, because I created it, and if you watch any of my videos, I showed you how to do this, how to create parts within a part studio. So I have two separate parts that I've created. I can turn them on and off as far as visibility goes on those two things. And they're already set up exactly how I want. So even though those things look like they're assembled, they are kind of snapped together so that they fit, but that's not in the assembly file. That's in the part studio. So different from Inventor, when you would create a part, you would only be able to create a part. Here is a part studio, meaning you can have several parts within the part studio. So I have that, and then I have this is kind of the front end of my car, and it has an axle as one of the pieces that I had created as part of that part studio. And then I have my wheel, and this wheel has two parts. It has the rubber outside and it has the rim on the inside. Okay, and I think that's going to be it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to just assemble those pieces together for you. So if I click the up arrow and hit the plus sign, I want to create an assembly. This brings me up the assembly environment, and you can see the origin. Keep that origin toggled on for right now. That's going to be important here in a second, and I'll show you why. And then we have two different tools up here. We have an insert, which is on the left, and then we have our actual assembly tools on the right. So I'm going to start by inserting one of my parts. And the part that I'm going to bring in is this entire part studio. So if I'll back out of here, if I wanted to, I could bring in just the individual parts themselves individually, and you could do that, or as I did, I can just click on the whole part studio and it'll bring those two in together. So I'm going to click on that part studio with those things already together and hit the check. So here we go. The very first thing that you need to do is we need to group these together because we don't want them becoming disconnected. If you forget to do that and you begin to drag stuff around, you will notice that as I go to move this shape, it separates itself from the windshield. I hit the back button. I don't want that to happen. So how you do this is you select each piece individually so they're both selected. Do that again. You could also click on both parts over there on the left. And then in your constraint tools, your assembly tools, I'm going to choose group. Now those two are grouped together. Hit the check and you're good to go. Now when I go to move this out of the way, they travel together as one piece. And you are going to want to slide this over out of the way. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it away from the origin. As I bring in more and more parts, it drops it on the origin, and if I don't move it, it'll get very congested because it'll drop it on top of one another. So let's bring in another part. I'm going to go to insert, and I'm going to bring in my next part studio piece. That part right there. You see how it fell onto the origin. And this came in with one axle. So if I flip over to that side, I can see that that axle isn't in there. This axle is already inserted. So I want to group those two together. Well, I'll show you what happens if I don't. All right, so I'm gonna leave them ungrouped for right now. I'm gonna hit the check, and I'm going to go up to my tools, and the first tool that I'm going to use is called this fastened mate, that one right there. And this is very similar to sticking two magnets together. In Inventor, we would have to do 3 different assemblies to get these things to lock in. We can actually do this with just one mate if we do it correctly. So if I tap on this face, you can see all those little dots pop up. As I press and hover over, they switch over to that little orange kind of circular thing. That's called a mate connector. So each one of these can be considered a mate connector. And I'm gonna actually just pick this one in the upper left-hand corner. You could, because I know these two are the exact same shape, you could pick that center one if you wanted, or any one that you want. I'm gonna pick this one in the upper corner right there. And then I'm going to choose the same exact side on my car, or on the universal base. As soon as I select that, you see up here in the upper right-hand corner, it automatically locks the rotation. I want to unlock the rotation so I can move it to be able to see. Now I'm going to tap this plane, and you see all of those possible connectors pop up. Press and hold. I'm going to choose the same exact corner so that those two, like magnets, will stick together, and hit the check. So now those are stuck together. If I go to move it around, it'll be stuck. One other thing that I forgot to do is ground a part, and the part that I want to ground is my universal base. So I'm just going to select that part 1, the universal base, and I'm going to go to my tools, and I am going to actually, it's not in the tools, it is in a 2-finger tap in the background. So select the part, 2-finger tap in the background, and fix part. There you go. So now you'll see the little symbol next to the eyeball up there next to part 1. That means that part has been fixed, meaning it's not going to move around. It's going to be the base established. Okay, so next thing that I'm going to do is assemble that axle into that hole. So I'm going to choose that fasten mate again, and I will kind of slide over the end, pick right in the center of that, and then down here I gotta undo the lock. I'm going to pivot this around so I can see inside of that hole, press and hold, and then try to find that hole that's way back in the center, back in there. Okay, so what you notice happened is that piece kind of stuck in there, but it's going the other direction. So down here in our little fasten to dialog box, I've got a double arrow. That little arrow changes direction. So as I tap it, it flips directions. Okay. This thing next to it, if you notice, you can't really tell because it's circular, but this is actually rotating the part around that point. So I'm going to hit the double arrows until that thing is coming out, and then hit the check. And now it's facing the right direction. All right. So if I wanted to bring in my other axle, I would just simply bring in my drop down. I would not pick the whole part studio. I just want to bring in an axle. There it is. Hit the check. Choose the fasten mate. Hover over the end. Unlock the screen. Rotate around. Zoom in. And choose that. This one looks like it's already facing the right direction, so I don't need to flip it. And there we go. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to bring into this assembly is the wheel. So I'm going to go to Insert, scroll until I find my whole wheel sub-assembly right there. There it comes in. This one I am going to group, just to remind you that that's what you want to do as you bring in a part studio that has multiple pieces to it is I'm going to click there and then click the wheel itself. And I will, whoops, let's do that again. So I inserted it in. Now I'm going to click the wheel and the tire and choose group. Hit the check. Now those should move as one piece, which it does. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit different because we're not going to use the fastened mate. I'm going to use something that will allow this wheel to spin. So this revolute mate allows it to spin. I'm going to hover over. I'm going to pick the end of this circle for the mate connector, and then I'm going to pick the end of the axle, and you'll see it kind of snap into position. All right, so there we go. Let's say I wanted to inset that wheel in underneath the car a little bit further. I want to offset those ends so it doesn't quite line up like that. I find the mate over here on the left-hand side, and I see the revolute mate. I can turn it on and off with the little eyeball you can see. I'm gonna hit the three dots and edit it. That brings up my Revolute 1, and I'm going to choose offset. And this allows me to pick a distance to offset those from one another. And I'm gonna choose 0.25 and hit the check. Notice how it came out the other direction. So I don't want that. I want it actually to go the other way. So I'm gonna hit minus 0.25, hit the check, and then hit the check. And now you can see that wheel has kind of slid down the axle a little bit further. For me, that's a little bit too far. So I'm gonna hit those three dots again, edit, and I'm gonna change my offset limit to negative 0.15, hit the check. And that's better. Okay, so if you want your axle to kind of stick out of the edge a little bit, that's how you do it. So your partner would do the same thing, or you would put the back on there the same way, load your tires or any other kind of special features you have, and